Look who's back. What's up, my Detroit Lions fans? You got to be Lions fans. It's good to be back. Haven't seen you in a while. A lot of things have been going on. Like Detroit Lions are 8-3. The Detroit Lions are 8-3. Wow. It's been about 60 years since we've had a record like that. Detroit Lions are real. I really think they could have been 9-2 or 10-1. We just made some decisions that probably cost us a couple of games, like being really aggressive and going for a fourth down deep into the Lions' territory. And when we didn't make it, um, the other teams capitalized because they had a short field. Now, with that, our defense is still considered to be number 9. Can you imagine if we didn't put him in such a bad situation? Um, I think some of those decisions going forward on fourth down deep in our territory when we could have punted or when we could have kicked the field goal and gotten the points, probably would have you know, saved us a couple of games. Probably would have won a couple more games. I mean, now I like the aggressiveness. I really like it, but I just think at certain points it kind of hurt us. Because let's look here at the Lions' fourth down conversions. The Lions are 13 for 27, which puts them just a little under 50%. But our opponents are 10 for 17, it's a little over 60%. Something else that I think may have hurt us, cost us games, is these turnovers. Um, we are -5 in turnovers. Uh, if you watched that Chicago game, I think we may have had three interceptions, and I think 2 fumbles. And then this Green Bay game, I think we had maybe two fumbles. So we had about 7 turnovers lost in the last 2 games. Again, uh, the defense is still doing pretty good. They're number 9, kind of unheard of for Detroit Lions. I think going down the stretch, um, Dan Campbell and the Lions um, coaching staff probably make different decisions, become a little more conservative, especially when we're down in our territory, deep in our territory. Probably going to see more punts. When we're on the other side of the field, probably going to see more field goals. Going to go ahead and get the points. But with that said, good to be back. I tell you what, we're going to start this off with a
You got to be lying.
history moment. Yeah, haven't had those in a while. So let me give you a you got to be lying history moment. Well, let's see. The number 20. I like the number 20 because we have had some great players that have worn the number 20. I know you know Barry Sanders, Billy Sims, 2 great players, Hall of Famers, Pro Bowlers that wore number 20. But there was another player that wore number 20 before Barry Sanders and Billy Sims. That was great. Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer. Probably one of the best in his era. Do any of you know who that might be? I'll give you a few seconds. Give you a few seconds. Give up. If you said Lim Barney, you would be correct. The great Lim Barney. You know what? Let's learn a little more about Mr. Barney. Detroit football.
Barney was selected by the Detroit Lions in the second round, 34th overall pick, of the 1967 NFL Draft. As a rookie in 1967, Barney appeared in all 14 games as a starting cornerback and led the NFL with 10 interceptions, 232 interception return yards and 3 interceptions returned for touchdowns. After an injury to Pat Studstill, Barney also took over as the Lions punter, punting 47 times for an average of 37.4 yards in 1967. On September 17, 1967, in the first quarter of his first NFL game, Barney intercepted the first pass thrown in his direction by Bart Starr and returned it 24 yards for a touchdown. In the final game of his rookie season, Barney intercepted 3 passes within 10 minutes and returned one for 71 yards for a touchdown. At the end of the 1967 season, he was selected by the Associated Press as the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. After the 1967 season, Barney played in the 1968 Pro Bowl, and in the off-season, he was married and also served 6 months of active duty in the Navy. Barney went on to be selected to 7 Pro Bowls and was selected as a first-team All-NFL player in 1968 and 1969. During his 11 years in the NFL, Barney had 56 interceptions, 1,011 interception return yards, and 7 interceptions returned for touchdowns. He also returned 143 punts for 1,312 yards and 3 touchdowns as well as 50 kickoff returns for 1,274 yards, including a 98-yard return for a touchdown. Let's take a look at some highlights of NFL Pro Bowler Lem Barney.